Welcome back. Last night, as the votes were being counted, we saw all sorts of bizarre, deranged commentary from the mainstream media, but this one may take the cake. Here is MSNBC's Jason Johnson attacking white people for voting for Donald Trump. Listen.
I think it's very important when we look at the lower numbers for Latinos, Biden underperforming with Latinos, Biden underperforming with African Americans. I think we also have to remember to put the focus in the right place, though. This is about white folks. This is about white people who saw a president who was corrupt and sexist and violent and mismanaged an entire pandemic that's killed over 230,000 people by the election, and they said, I want some more of that. So even if every single black person and every single Latino person had come out and said, hey, we're going to support Joe Biden, it wouldn't have been enough to overcome the number of white people who are okay with Trump and his mini version of Trumpism.
There you have it. Here with reaction is Turning Point USA and the first contributor, Rob Smith. Rob, let's just start with this. I was under the impression the election was about all Americans, but you got an MSNBC contributor here who's saying that it's about white people who did bad things in this election, in their choice. What do you say?
I say this is the same playbook that they've been going on since 2016. Remember in 2016 when kind of the same thing happened, Hillary Clinton vastly underperformed, and they were going to have this soul-searching moment, the Democrat Party and the left, to see what could we have possibly done for this. They actually have performed terribly last night, even though everything is still in disarray, and I think that Trump will end up being vindicated, and he will actually end up calling victory. But this is the stuff that they do. You see lots of prominent black voices on the left talking about white supremacy. Again, you got Joy Reid on MSNBC calling Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas Uncle Clarence. Obviously, a thinly veiled swipe at the Uncle Tom and Coon racial slur against black Republicans. But they still don't get it. And what they also don't get is the fact that this was not just white people, okay, that were showing up for Trump last night. He got, I think that he increased the black vote by 33% from 2016. He increased the gay and lesbian vote. They doubled the gay and lesbian vote. So there are a lot of different people that are really into this message of a coalition of people that are defined by populism in America first and love for America. These people that are in their cable news bubbles where all they have to do is sit and rant into a camera about white supremacy and how all white people are racist and get hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do so are completely missing the point again, Buck.
Now, we have some really interesting info here. I mean, first of all, if we're talking about exit polls for the black vote specifically, we could put that on the screen for everybody. Trump dramatically, you can kind of see it there, but I mean, Trump dramatically overperformed among what is usually expected with the GOP. So black men there, 18% for Donald Trump. Usually GOP numbers are more like 9%. So yeah. He pretty much doubled the standard, every 4 years GOP level of black voter support. And Rob, what's amazing to me is the first reaction from so many in the press, as we're seeing here, is, well, he's still a racist and America's still full of white supremacy and Donald Trump is awful, instead of, maybe we missed something, because not only did Donald Trump outperform the GOP, after 4 years of him being president, he got more of the black vote. So how do they explain this?
They explain it by calling every black person that supports Trump some sort of agent of white supremacy, some sort of self-hating racist. They don't get into the facts. They will not understand, and they never will understand, how many people are turned off by their kind of reckless use of identity politics. And the way that they use identity politics on the left is to say that if you're a black, you're a victim. If you're a Latino, you're a victim. If you're a gay and lesbian, you're a victim. And you need to be with us as the left and the Democrats because we will protect you against those evil, racist, sexist, stupid, homophobic conservatives. That is a message that is not resonating with a vast majority. And a lot of African Americans, a lot of Latinos, a lot of gays and lesbians are really tuning out to that. And I think that they're tuning into an America First idea that President Trump and this new GOP coalition is pushing forward. But also, look, a law and order message, an economy message, all of that stuff really does still factor in with minority voters. And they think that we are single issue voters, and they think that we can be manipulated and always pushed by the BLM stuff and the quote unquote white supremacy stuff and all of the BLM cases, when the vast majority of African Americans want what all other Americans want, which is prosperity, security, and a path towards the American dream. And the left has to accept the fact that Donald Trump and this GOP right now are more effective messengers of that dream for a lot of people.
I spoke today to a friend of mine who's on the left and who's a Democrat, also is a Bernie Sanders voter. He's black. Mark Lamont Hill, you may know him. And we were having this discussion about the election. And one thing that he pointed out was, which the left finds particularly irksome, even among these numbers, is that Trump not only increased his share of the African-American vote, but doubled, we have this number for you, the black female vote for Donald Trump from 4%, which granted is not a large number, but doubling your vote among any constituency in as tightly contested an election like this obviously really matters. But more than that, there's also this indicator, and you alluded to this before, of what seems to be a multi-ethnic coalition of people mostly from the working class who are united about America, about pride in their country, and about their interests as workers, and not just kind of living at the whims of the plutocrats that reign above us all, whether in the tech media, the Democrat DNC apparatus. What do you think was motivating specifically the black female vote to come out for Trump the way that it did?
Absolutely. So, in the Florida governor race, which got called for, obviously, Ron DeSantis as our governor, something that really didn't make a lot of national media is the fact that DeSantis got 18% of the black female vote here. And the reason why he got that is because he was a fearless advocate for school choice. Now, the Trump administration and their allies in the GOP have been very effective at portraying a message of school choice to black women, particularly black mothers, obviously. When they had an event in Atlanta when they rolled out the Platinum Plan, which was one of his coalition, his signature plans for Black America should he get a second term. School choice was a big part of that. He had a young man who was, I think, 21 years old, very successful, had just graduated school. He talked about the fact that school choice put him on a better path. And so the GOP has found, and you will see this, I think, in down ballot races, even when we're talking about congressional races, when we start looking into that data a little bit, school choice is something that really, really does resonate and matter to black female voters, particularly mothers. Obviously, sending their children to failing public schools is not working for them anymore. And they see that the Democrats and the left are nothing but a tool for teachers' unions. They want to do nothing but keep underperforming and failing schools open so that they continue to get that funding. And the school choice message really is resonating with these black female voters. And I think that there is a huge opportunity in a potential second term for them to hammer down that message even more and to have even more success with this group of people than even they did this year.
Do you think there was specific Trump outreach that made a difference here, or was it just mostly the policies, the overall approach of the administration?
No. It was absolutely specific outreach. You got Black Voices for Trump. You have people like Katrina Pearson and Paris Bernard and all of these people who are reaching out and have been reaching out to black voters in the way that no other Republican administration really had. And you are seeing the effects of this. And obviously, I'm just a digital media influencer. Obviously, I came out in court for the president and I do what I can. But it's these people that are doing the work on the ground. All of these Black Voices for Trump centers that were open. Like, look, Trump took Florida. There's Black Voices for Trump centers all around Florida. This stuff matters. Reaching out to voters matters. And what the left does is they take these voters for granted, and they have lost some of the effectiveness of their messaging to these voters, because I'm not entirely sure if they have a message to give these voters other than President Trump and the Republicans are racist. It is not enough in 2020. It's just not.
Rob, always great to see you, man. Thanks for sharing your expertise on all matters political, and we'll have you back soon.
Absolutely, Buck. Thanks.
When we return, we'll take a look at some of the most ridiculous takes of the day in what we call tonight's Buckshot. Stay with us.